Y grabando, Fencast grabando otro episodio de Women's History Month, mes de la historia de la mujer, 2020. Ahora en vía telefónica I have a dear friend de Carolina originally. We met en Colegio Mayagüez, but now she lives in NY. So, first of all, ¿quién tengo en la línea?
Es Sophia Melissa Caraballo.
How was that? Was that good?
That was good.
I
That was
try.
great.
I try.
I was like, whoa, okay, what's going on now? Whoa. Look at this voice.
So, ¿cómo has estado, mija?
Bregando. Me acabo de mudar por primera vez en la ciudad. Fue una odisea. Fueron 12 horas de estar subiendo y bajando 3 pisos en 2 apartamentos diferentes.
Damn.
4 viajes en un U-Haul para mudar las cosas. Y estoy barata, honestamente.
Imagino.
Pero estamos bien.
Look on the positive. Bregaste, you did a lot of cardio, a lot of exercise.
Que sí que. El reloj decía que hice 80 pisos en un día.
Phew.
Y the Empire State son 84, so how about that? Yeah.
It ain't got nothing on you now.
They got nothing on me. No, but that was, honestamente, I'm still recovering, como que las piernas todavía no las aguanto. Pero we're good. Can't complain. So we don't got coronavirus, so we're here. We good.
That's good. Asumo que los muslos especialmente estarán on fire still.
Que sí que.
Oh,
yeah.
Eso es lo primero que ahí me arde when I go upstairs a cada rato.
A mí es mayormente las rodillas, so something tells me maybe I have some inflammation going on, pero ahora mismo es mayormente las rodillas. So we'll see. We're going to go to a chiropractor. We're going to hope that she works some magic and she'll make me feel better.
Obligado.
Yeah, so vamos a ver.
Yeah. So, that said, como te mencioné antes de empezar a grabar, I'm trying to interview women who are artists, who have their own businesses, or women who have inspired me in some way. So, te contacté a ti because you have inspired me in a few ways.
Yeah.
First off, in writing, journalism, like, I would never see myself actually going to study writing, en el sentido de que, pues, porque a uno le dicen, oh, no te vas a hacer chavo con eso, or whatever the fuck. But you
they're not wrong, though, but yeah.
But you actually said, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I love and follow it. So, talk to me about how you got into writing, specifically journalism, and cómo te fue el trayectorio para llegar a eso.
Okay. So, cuando primero llegué al colegio, no fui para allá con ninguna intención de estudiar writing, inglés, nada de eso. Yo fui al colegio porque yo quería ser veterinaria, and I had gotten into the program de Prevet. Y desde un principio te dejaban saber que not everyone got into that program, you were special, but that also ponía mucha presión. Y yo era de las que estudiaba, básicamente 16 horas al día, porque yo cogía clases de 7 de la mañana hasta las 2 o las 3, dependiendo del día, a veces hasta las 5. Llegaba al apartamento, tomaba una siesta maybe de 1 hora y después me ponía a estudiar hasta las 5 de la mañana. Estaba corrido desde 7 de la tarde de la noche hasta las 5 de la mañana. Habían veces que a mí se me olvidaba comer. Mi primer año, honestamente, nunca salí ni siquiera a comer. Siempre estaba metida en mi apartamento estudiando. Y obviamente mi cuerpo y mi mental health sufrieron mucho por el lack of descanso. Me acuerdo hasta una vez que I clearly must have passed out porque I don't remember anything excepto levantándome del piso and being like, what just happened? Iba como estaba sola, so it's not like anyone could have helped me, which was very dangerous. Después de ese primer año, pues lo opuesto pasó, and even though I was studying so much, it just wasn't going through, and I basically failed. I failed my first year of Prevet, and then also le perdí el amor. I wasn't the only one either. Like, a lot of people failed that first year, but unlike the other ones, I just realized that it wasn't my thing. I also didn't agree con muchas de las prácticas que we were doing on animals. I loved them way too much to even like put any slight pain on them. Y I was faced con, do I do what makes my parents happy and be a doctor, even if it's an animal doctor, and probably make a lot of money, or do I go for something que is going to make me happy? And then that first year, I remember I went to the dean and the veterinaria, and I told him I was quitting. He got very angry at me. He was like, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Do you know how many people would kill basically to be in your position? I was like, yes, but I'm not happy, and so that's what is most important to me, so bye. Yeah. I basically, después, segundo año, unfortunately, I had lowered my grades al punto that I was in probatoria. So wow. I had to subir nota because I had to. So segundo año, I mainly spent it doing humanidades. So I took Historia, I took Inglés, humanidades, yo cogí... I me dediqué a repetir las clases que I had failed, so I was like taking precálculo again, taking chemistry again, which I absolutely hated. Y pude subir mi nota, and that is when I discovered that I wanted to be a journalist. I had always loved to write, pero con la misma cosa. You're not going to make money from it. How are you going to be a writer? You're going to morirte de hambre. Don't do that, but it's what I wanted to do. So en mi segundo año, I had actually decided to irme para Sagrado Corazón, como en el programa de periodismo. Y me acuerdo que I got in. I had moved back to Carolina, and then maybe like 2 or 3 days antes de las clases, I told my parents, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to empezar de nuevo en una universidad. I was already a third year, and they were asking me to basically be a freshman all over again. And lo bueno del periodismo es que you don't have to have a degree in it to ejercer la práctica. So I decided to go back to colegio. Y estudié inglés. And I was able to graduate en ese momento pues para mi quinto año. So I basically did el bachillerato de inglés in 3 years. It was intense. English is not easy. Everyone thinks it is, but it's not, and you know this. And luckily, I had my 2 mentors in the English department were also writers and journalists, so Risha Chansky and Jocelyn Heliga. And they really supported me in the decision of, like, do you want to be a writer? That's the way to do it. Just do it. Be happy. Look where we are. We're happy. We're successful. We've done it. It's fine. And they really helped me look for the right university, the good university. And I got into all of my choices. I think I applied to like 5 or 6 different universities, and luckily I got into all of them. So I was able to pick and choose which one I wanted to go to. Obviously, I went for the one that gave me a full scholarship, luckily, which was Syracuse University. The complete opposite of what Mayagüez is. It is, Syracuse only has 40 days of summer a year. the rest of the time, the temperature is below 50 degrees, which for someone que had never even left Puerto Rico was a big shock. And I was there for a year. It was básicamente el bachillerato de periodismo in just 1 year. I did my master's there. And again, it was really intense. I was also working 3 jobs because college, college en Estados Unidos is not like universidades en Puerto Rico. Como I was able to get beca toda mi vida in Mayagüez, and then even though I still had beca in Syracuse, I still had to pay like $5,000 a semester and fees and health insurance. And so I basically was studying full time, 18 credits a semester, plus working 3 jobs. And it was intense. I did it. And unlike the rest of my classmates in el momento, I didn't go off immediately to New York City, where they basically sold us the idea that if you don't go to New York City, you're never going to make it as a journalist, which is not true. I will say that. I have friends who are very successful, and they're in Houston. I have friends in Washington, D.C. I have friends in Virginia, and they're very successful. I actually went back to Puerto Rico, and I worked in Imagen, which is the fashion magazine. I was there for a year, and I was actually their first and only digital reporter. So most of the stuff that was on their website was my stuff. And it was a little bit difficult in ese momento because I was coming from a journalism background from an American university, aka like a North American university, so everything was in English, and then I had to basically relearn journalism within 2 weeks because journalism in Spanish and English are obviamente grammatically different. So I remember I got like teased a lot because they were like, "Oh, la gringa is here," and I'm like, "No, I'm just like you and I. Like what? I just studied over there, unlike you. That's the difference." And I was there for a year, and then I unfortunately had to make the decision of I either stay in Puerto Rico and I get paid $7 an hour for sometimes 14-hour days working in a place where the only way I was going to grow was if someone else left. And so, unfortunately, I made the decision to leave Puerto Rico again and pursue journalism in New York City. And I've been here it was after Maria. It just so happened, but it was after Hurricane Maria as well. And luckily, I had a roommate who was also Puerto Rican who had also went through Maria. She had also been on the island when it happened. And we were able to, like, lean on each other through those really tough times of the trauma that came from being in the island while Hurricane Maria was happening, to then leaving everything behind, feeling guilty because you're leaving and leaving your family and your friends behind to struggle and deal with the aftermath, but then also not hearing from them. So I basically got to experience both sides of post-Maria Puerto Rico. And I've been here since 17? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when was Maria? 2017, 18?
17.
Yeah. I don't even know. See, like, life here just goes so fast. I don't even know what day it is. And yes, I've been able to grow a lot. Like, I've been able to have, like, a lot of experiences, but do I wish I could have had those experiences back home in Puerto Rico? Yes, but unfortunately we don't have a great journalism, career, like, path in Puerto Rico. There's only 4 places to go to, and you need para definitivamente to get into any of those places. and that can sometimes be hard.
Mm.
So, yeah, that is me. That is my career path in periodismo. I think I still get questions of, like, why are you doing it if, like, it's so unstable? Like, even my parents to this day are like, Sophia, are you really just going to keep barking up that tree, or are you just going to give up and, like, finally realize that you don't have, that it's not such a great career path? And I'm just like, you know what? It's not a phase. Like, I've had to actually tell my parents, this is not a phase. Okay, I'm 27 years old. This is not a phase. This is my career. And maybe in 10 or 15 years, I'll realize and be like, okay, maybe I should move on to something a little bit more stable. But right now, I'm happy and content and just writing my stories and about my experiences as Puerto Rican in New York City. There's a lot of us, yes, but we all have our own different experiences and are dealing with different things. Yeah, and it's just finding what makes you happy, I think, and just speaking from the bottom of your heart and trying to find who can identify with you. And trust me, there is someone out there that will identify with you. Yeah. He talks a lot.
That's okay, that's okay. I mean, ese mismo determination, what inspires me about you. And
Thank you.
taking it a little bit back towards, I don't know, maybe your baby steps in journalism. How did her campus experience help you into becoming a professional?
Okay, so definitely her campus was my first experience in journalism. You also know, at the time, her campus wasn't that loved.
Mm-hmm.
It came with a lot of teasing. But I was able to, like, really find out there what I wanted to write about, and that was, like, other inspirational women, similarly to what you're doing right now. I would do profiles on girls who were, like, juggling careers while also studying and following their passions. And I got to, more than just, like, the bylines and the clips, I was able to be around people who right now are also journalists. So Claudia, Laura, and just bounce ideas off of each other and really be like, we want to make a difference, even if it's first through her campus. Like, how can I say this? We were just doing this also without any background on journalism. We did it because we wanted to, because we had studied on our own, and we had also a mentor who knew about journalism, and that's basically it. But I think her campus taught me to seek like-minded people in the industry and to really make a difference and to, like, grow thick skin as well, because, like, journalism is not easy. Some of the stuff that I've written can be very, like, frilly and cutesy, but then I'm now working on a news website where every day we write stories about assault and rape and murder. And it just goes to show you that, like, journalists, the only thing we want to do is inform you. And so, yeah, I think that's what her campus taught me, was just, like, you have a job to do, and that's to inform other people. Doesn't matter if it's about cute puppies or if it's about, like, a tragedy that happened around the corner. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Te iba a preguntar, another thing that we've always, bueno, no siempre, pero we discussed a veces, y algo que por lo menos I like about you es que not only do you write about mujeres con aspiraciones and who are independent and powerful, but you also like to write about fashion. So, talk to me about your love for fashion and ¿Cómo te ha ayudado cómo te ha ayudado as a woman and as a person overall?
Yeah. So first it has to do with the fact that I think Latinas per se are already very fashionable. We're very loud. And from a very young age, my mom always taught me that I needed to be I needed to look good, even if I was going literalmente a la farmacia. I would be that person. I would be that girl that would go a la farmacia Medina, which is like a little corner store, in platform and a dress. I would be that person. And looking back ahora mismo, especially with this move where I had to like really look at my closet and get rid of a bunch of stuff, I've realized that pretty much every year I am shifting what I like to wear, what kind of like fashion sense I have, and also from back home. Then I wasn't that big into it until I started en Imagen, which again is a fashion magazine, and I realized I needed to be up there just like everyone around me, and just being constantly alrededor of so much fashion just sort of rubs off on you. And I think even to this day, it obviously is like a complex, but I still don't feel like I know everything I need to know in order to be that person that you go to and be like, what do you think about this fashion thing? Or what do you think about this other thing? But I think it's being exposed to so many different fashion senses around you, especially in New York. Like, fashion in New York is nuts. And I've seen it compared como que I'll wear a nice outfit here and people will think it's like absolutely normal. And then cuando voy a Puerto Rico, I'll wear the same thing and mi mejor amiga, aka Laura and Kiana, are like, what are you wearing? What is wrong with you? And you're like, it's fashion. What's wrong with you? And like, it just shows you like, you just really need to like immerse yourself and like make yourself try things that you've never tried before. And I feel like as a Latina, you really get to do that, and it's okay. Like, we're known for being loud and colorful and not caring about what anyone thinks about us, but also like holding our head high and just having this confidence and this like passion for everything that we do. That has definitely helped me become better. I guess you could say better at fashion, but not really, just more confident about it. Also helps that I had a roommate who was obsessed with fashion, and like I would see some of the stuff that she would wear, and in the beginning I was like, what? No, that doesn't go. My mom always told me that red and pink don't go together, but then it doesn't matter anymore. Like, it really, fashion, like, what is it, like trends, they don't really matter as much. Like, do you want to wear something that is considered out of fashion, out of season or something like that, but you do it well and you do it with confidence, no one's gonna care.
Exactly.
Like, and I think it took a lot of being exposed to different experiencias, like going from being in vet school to then really like sort of feeling very lost in what I wanted to do, and then being like exposed to like the English department, where it's definitely a very different type of people, and then moving to Syracuse, where you're exposed to like basically white girl fashion, which is like hoodies and leggings, and you're like, this is my lifestyle now. It's all I wear. It's leggings and a hoodie and maybe some boots, and that's it. And it also, I think, I had a real, not fashion crisis, but like a real just like personal crisis when, unfortunately, grad school made me gain a lot of weight, like a lot. And I really just started to like, not hate it, but just trying to hide it. And I feel like at that time I like lost myself a little bit. And it took my mom to be like, yeah, this happens. You can either let it happen and keep being yourself, or you can do something to make yourself feel better, but also finding yourself again. And I feel like after going through that process, I like just didn't care. I mean, obviously I wasn't healthy, so I had to like lose all the weight, and I grew confident again. But I feel like in moments I was just like, you know what? It doesn't matter what I wear as long as I'm like myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah. As long as you make it your own, you own it.
Exactly. As long as you're happy, like it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy wearing what you're wearing? Yes, go ahead and do it. But I think the thing that has made me the best at that is just being exposed to different people with different fashion senses.
Gotcha. Going back to writing and journalism.
Yeah.
Essay is to main form of expression right now, but as far as writing, is there any other form of writing that you practice or want to practice? Is there any other form of journalism that you want to practice?
I think I've also dived into a lot of different ways of oh my God, sorry. I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought.
Don't worry. Find it.
So yeah, when I first started writing, I actually started writing, this is embarrassing to admit, but fan fiction. That's how I got started into writing. And when I first started writing, what I wanted to do was be an author. So I've already been in different areas of writing. I've done like short stories, almost very long books. I've done like lifestyle pieces. I've done deep dives. I've done investigative journalism. I've done features. And like my favorite one out of all of those has to be featuring people, like going up to someone and following them, not following them in a creepy way, but like obviously they're aware that you're there, writing a profile on them and just following them for like a weekend or even just one day and seeing what they do, what their quirks are. Like sometimes you just need to be with that person in order to get a bigger sense of the picture. Like sometimes just talking to them once for half an hour is not enough. Sometimes you have to go back and talk to them for 5 hours, or you need to go grab coffee with them, or you need to go grab dinner, or you go to the mall with them and you spend time with them. And I think that's definitely one of my favorite ways of in journalism. Obviously love investigative journalism, but that takes a very long time. Like that takes months, and sometimes you don't have months to make like this month's pay rent. Like unfortunately that's not super viable in a world where you're just starting in journalism. But my favorite has to be like profiling people. Like it's something that I've done since I even started studying in her campus. Like that was one of the first things I did, and I loved it. And that love for it, I actually, during grad school, I traveled all the way to Canada to follow this one lady who was the first woman to run the Boston Marathon.
Oof.
Yeah, it was very inspiring. It was very amazing. I think I spent like 2 days with her in Canada, and then I came back. I did not to toot my own horn, a really great profile. And, like, it actually won awards, like academic awards.
Nice.
And I think that validation as well of someone else being like, this is really good, just fuels my passion for it. And I wish I could do a lot more about it. It's something I try to do with my freelance work. I think you've seen it a little bit. But out of all the ways that I could possibly write, I think profiling another person and making you, even though you're not seeing that other person, making you imagine them and maybe really see them is like the greatest thrill for me, at least.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Is there any other art form or way of expression that you want to explore in the future?
I don't know. When I was younger, I tried like instruments. That didn't work, but mainly because I had a really terrible teacher who didn't care. I never really been into drawing or painting just because I feel like I can be better with words rather than drawing you an image. In high school, I was in drama, and that was my other way of expressing myself, and I absolutely loved it. In the future, I don't know, maybe for fun I would do that, but I don't know. I think right now I'm just sticking to writing because it's the one thing that I've been doing for a very long time that I'm not tired of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Obligado.
Like, I don't know if it happened to you, but like when I was an English major, we would be reading, 3-4 different books the same time in 1 week. And then once I actually finished, like, bachillerato, I was kind of done with reading for fun. Like, I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had my fill of reading, and, like, it's no longer fun for me at this time. Like, I know, like, I still read here and there some books. Like, I'll read, like, the Michelle Obama book. I'll read, like, the Megyn Kelly book. And, like, I'll read books that I'm absolutely passionate about. But, like, to be that person that will devour 5 books in 1 week, she's not there anymore. And, like, writing for me, at least, I still haven't lost the thrill of it. Even though I write 7 or 8 different articles in 1 day. Like, I still love it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I would suggest maybe documentary filmmaking.
I love watching them, so maybe. I love watching documentaries, especially if they're like true crime, but that's like, I feel like that's a secret obsession everyone has, but won't admit.
Está obsessive en Netflix ahora mismo.
I haven't seen any. I'm watching Cable Girls, which is like historical dramas. Also love anything historical. Like, I wanted to do un doble bachillerato con Historia, but that didn't work out at the time. I shouldn't have given up, but that's like another one of my passions, is just to learn history. Especially because they correlate so much with English literature, especially the English literature that we were studying at the time. Like, it was a lot of old stuff rather than modern stuff. Like, I feel like the most modern thing we read was from the 1940s.
Yeah, algo así.
Yeah, we didn't read that much modern stuff unless you took like the smaller classes, like Caribbean literature, where they gave you like some Juno Diaz, and that was it. But at the time, like, history and English seems like a really good idea, and it still is. But I feel like documentaries could be really fun. I just never got to learning how to, like, I don't know, what do you do with documentary filming? Like, do you do a script?
Well, a veces you can do like a template or an outline of how you think it's gonna go, but it's not gonna be definite.
Yeah, sure, you're right.
Pero,
I mean, it kind of goes, I guess it goes with like the whole taking videos for an article, like.
Yeah,
okay.
and a lot of research, and I'm pretty sure you do a lot of research and a lot of interviewing, so.
Oh, that's fun. Okay. I'll maybe join someone who's doing one. Because, everyone in New York has a dream. Everyone's filming something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fíjate, no sabía que you thought of doing a double with history, pero that's another thing
Yeah,
that we share then. Porque eso era lo que yo
I
pensaba hacer
love
también.
history, but I mean, not to like trash talk this professor, but she was very difficult. Like, difícil, not so much like materia wise, but just una persona difícil. Like, you didn't want to deal with her for a very long time, and turns out she was like basically the queen of the history department. So you were at least gonna take like 5 or 6 of her classes, and I was like, no, not for me. Thanks, lady. Like, I hate you that much. Like, 2 classes with you were enough. I'm done. And I mean, I kind of regret it because it just meant that one person basically took that away from me. Pero I also just wasn't in the mood of like dealing with someone terrible for the rest of my college career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, college was terrible enough.
Obligado.
I didn't want another persona making it even more difficult. And yeah, like someone who thought of like students as like little robots rather than actual people.
Yeah, entiendo full.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Earlier mencionaste a Professor Chansky y Professor Heliga as 2 of your mentors. So talk to me about women who have inspired you career-wise and in your personal life.
Women that have inspired me career-wise, I mean, obviously still those 2 people, Chansky and Heliga. I was lucky enough to meet Chansky in the very beginning of my college career. So she caught me at a time where I was really struggling to find who I was. Like, I was going through the whole, like, she was my English, not básico, avanzado professor, so I had to take her first year. And, like, during first year, I was still in vet school. And, like, I was going through this whole dilemma, like, should I really be a doctor? Should I don't know, do something else? Should I quit and just go to another college? And she luckily was the one professor who like made my first year like a good year. Like, even though so much was happening to me during that first and second year, she was consistent and she was supportive and she was great and she like actually inspired you to like follow your dreams. You know that. And she was someone who really like cared for you and watched out for you. Like, even because she met me at such a fragile time of my life, when I decided to go to Syracuse, she really wanted me to be absolutely sure, even though this was the best journalism school, even though they were giving me a full ride through grad school. She was like, do you think this will be a good choice for you, knowing that you've been through all of this stuff before and that you're putting so much distance between you and everything you know? And she really made me think about that. And then when I said yes, like, I'm very sure, she's like, okay, I'm here for that. Let's go. Let's do it. Heliga was also like the only person who I saw as a like actually successful journalist who wasn't in journalism anymore. Like, she was a professor. She was an English professor, but she had studied journalism and she had a career in it. And then she just decided, like, oh, maybe this isn't my thing anymore. I'm just going to go teach other kids. And that was really inspiring to me. Also helped me through like my dilemma of like, should I stay in Puerto Rico for my journalism career or should I go to the United States? And she gave me that push, that very scary push, because like, it's very scary to leave home, to leave everything you know for a very strange place. And she was able to help me through that. Other women, I want to say, like, during grad school, there was one professor. Her name was Harriet Brown, and as you may know, Syracuse is a very white place. There's not a lot of diversity, and even within professors, there was no diversity whatsoever. Maybe there were like 2 black professors in the whole thing, the whole school. And she was this short, Jewish, very proud woman who got in your face as soon as this kid was like, I don't believe in being politically correct. And she just got in his face, and she was like, oh, you don't believe in that? I'm going to show you that you should believe in it. And she did this experiment, which I don't know what her intentions were behind it, but for some odd reason, when I went to grad school, the kids in my program, we were maybe like a total of like 25 people within my program, and there were only 5 men, and the rest were 20 women.
Mm.
I don't know if they did it on purpose or what, but all of the women, we were all, as you would say, diverse. Like, there was one black chick, there was a Native American, there was a Pakistani, there were like 4 Asians, 2 Puerto Ricans, like a couple of mixed girls, and just one white girl who was not, because she didn't grow up like that. And then the 5 guys, they were white men from upstate New York. Like, it was, and in the beginning, we already knew the girls. We were like, these guys are kind of weird. Like, they make us feel kind of weird. We don't trust them that much. And then after that experiment, she showed them their privilege that they had as white men from upstate. And I don't know, like, in the experiment, she was like, have you seen the experiment where they make you guys hold hands, and then, depending on the question, you either take steps forward or you take steps back?
I think so, yeah.
Básicamente, it's made to, like, show the people that step forward just how much advantage they have in life, and then the ones in the back are the last advantage ones. And, like, the last person in the back was the Native American girl, and then the person in the front was, like, this white guy from, I don't know, Utica or something, and he's like in his 50s, and he'd never been out of upstate New York. And in the front were all the guys, and then in the back were all the girls, and it just created this, like, rift between us. But the point of this professor was, like, you can't think, okay, everyone's going through the same things as you, because unfortunately, in America, in the United States, and especially a very white place as it is upstate New York, race matters, even though we don't want it to, even though we all want to be like, we are all accepting or whatever, it still matters. There are still people who are racist. Like, I didn't know I was different until I moved to Syracuse University. Like, the amount of people that came after me and my mom because we were speaking Spanish in a store was ridiculous. Yeah, so I think just, like, how brave, basically brave, I mean, it's kind of shitty that you have to call it brave because she's just being herself, really inspired me, more so, like, my journalism career. Like, journalism is still a very white place as well, very man-dominated, depending on, like, what route you take, either magazines or news. Like, if it's news, it's more male-dominant, but obviously white men. And then if you go to magazines, it's a lot of, like, women, but also white women. And she just taught me, she was like, you can't take shit from anyone. Like, seriously, be proud of who you are. Don't try and blend in. Don't try and mix in with everyone, because you is what makes you different. Like, just you being another race, you being another color is what makes you different, and you need to take advantage of that, and you need to teach these other people, like, I may be Latina, and I may come from another place, and I may have an accent, and I may sometimes struggle with, like, probably a simple word, and I will forget how to say it, and I'll make a fool of myself, but I'm still me, I'm still great, like, and, yeah, I think she was definitely one of those people. I've definitely had other mentors throughout each magazine that I've been in, and I think another person who's been really inspiring to me has been She's actually a coworker in my first job here in New York City. And she's like this white girl from Missouri, like whitest person you could possibly meet. But she is so proud and loud of who she is, and she does not care that she's like singing in the middle of the subway. She does not care if she's like jumping and sprinting through the theater. She does not care. She's happy. She's proud of who she is, and she really likes to make other people feel like they can do that too. Because sometimes you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna be embarrassed if I do that. She's like, no, who cares? Just be yourself. Really, no one's going to care. And if they care, it's because they want to be like you. Like, they want to be as free as you. And, yeah, she's definitely taught me to be more out of my shell. Like, I even remember getting my way. I used to be, like, super shy and, like, just kind of stayed in my lane. But I'm definitely not like that anymore. Like, I want to say I'm a lot more open. I'm a lot happier. I mean, yeah, with the struggles, but happier. And I definitely feel like I'm more myself now because she taught me that I can be loud and I can be like crazy, and no one's gonna say anything because no one cares. The only person that cares is you. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Those are my 3-4 people that have inspired me.
Very
and my mama, of course, always. Always your
Mommy.
mama.
Mommy.
Always the mama, always.
Of course, of course. Te iba a preguntar,
Yeah.
what have you found en cuestión a latinas over there? Has anybody... Like, las latinas que has conocido, have they inspired you as well in any way?
Definitivamente. Just like, you meet so many people from so many different places, and you just immediately find each other. Like, the amount of times I've just looked at someone, and then just by looking at each other, I'll be like, are you from Puerto Rico? And they're like, yes. And they're like, yeah, me too. And then we'll just be friends.
And throw a party, of
like,
course.
Yeah. And I feel like here, we're, like, Latinas are a lot more bolder, like, than they are wherever they came from, like, wherever, like, from Mexico, República Dominicana. We're definitely, like, a lot more louder and prouder, but it's mainly because we miss our, like, tierra so much. Like, like, I was never huge in, like, reggaeton or anything like that until I moved here. Because it's the one thing that everyone knows. It's like, oh, she's Puerto Rican because, yeah, the way she's, like, whatever she's listening to. And also just, it's like a little piece of home. And I think here, a lot of the Latinos that I've met, they've enhanced who they are to be more Latina, if that can even be possible. Like, they're very proud. They're very loud. They don't care. Like, I feel like before, due to the, like, the political environment, a lot of Latinos chose to just keep their heads down. I'm not going to say anything because I know a lot of people are not going to like me because I'm Latino. But I feel like that has changed, and we are a lot more, like, daring to others just because we're Latinas, and we are, like, louder and prouder. And, like, I love surrounding myself with women like that. And also you, like, find people who've never been to wherever they say they're from, and they're still like, oh yeah, I'm Peruvian, but they don't speak one drop of Spanish. They've never met their grandparents or anything. They're here like a second generation or first generation, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm Peruvian. And you're like, okay, I like that. I'm into that. And I feel we're very, like, tightly knit family just because we're Latino. Yeah,
you
and I feel like
share.
women are definitely like that here, especially women.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah. It there's something that connects all of you at least in one way. So.
Yeah, and I feel like all of us have,
Mm-hmm.
just the mere fact that all of us have been like, at some point, someone has been like, oh my God, your English is like really good. Or just like those tiny comments that can seem to be compliments for other people, but are sort of condescending. And we're like, oh, really? And then we just try and be like, have a thicker accent, even though it was maybe said upon before, but now it's like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I am who I am. Yeah.
Super punk thing to do.
Yeah. It's a very punk rock world here.
Exactly. So we talked about your writing, your journalism. We've talked about your love for fashion, women that have inspired you, adaptability from various sides.
Yeah.
So now to a lighter question.
Yeah.
Is there any other hobby or activity that you want to take a part of or start doing?
I think the fact that I've recently moved into a new apartment and it's like a clean slate has definitely made me more aware of like decoration and home, that kind of stuff. Sounds very grown-up-y, I know. We're grown-ups now, okay? We care about getting a vacuum cleaner. But I think just like finding ways to express yourself through home decoration and like painting a wall blue and painting a wall green. Who cares? It's fun. It's who you are. And I think, like home decoration and like color schemes, that's fun. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like I'll spend hours in Pinterest just looking at inspiration. I know that sounds very white girl. Don't judge me. Okay. But it's actually like really interesting. Like I actually have books of color scheme and like what colors go together and how to make your like room feel more serene or how to make it be more yourself. And also just the fact that you can easily change it. That's just fun to me. So that's like my newest hobby is just looking at decorations and home inspiration. But yeah, that's the one. I think it goes along with the whole fashion and beauty thing because colors and it's just the same thing. Just on a place rather than a person.
Okay, yeah. Eso mismo te voy a decir. Is this something that your mom likes to do as well? Like that she like
My mom is I think she does too. Like she's constantly like she loves stuff she'll constantly be buying stuff from La India just because she like identifies a lot with like the colors and the feel of it. And she'll like show me what her latest thing. But I feel like I mainly saw it for like Christmas. There always has to be a different theme each year. And like the amount of Christmas decorations in our house is horrifying. Like seriously. If she buys more every single year, she'll buy like 20 different decorations. And not like stuff for the tree, but actual stuff that hangs from the ceiling. And like a new Reyes Mago, a new Nacimiento. Like she changes it every single day. And I think my mom also, when she was young, was like she was very much into fashion. She would always tell me, she was like, Sophia, todos los viernes yo estrenaba ropa nueva, okay? I was like, oh, so this is where I get my obsession with shopping, okay? But like even sometimes I'll be wearing something that I feel like it's not something I would have worn 10 years ago. It's not something that I would have worn back in colegio. And my mom is like, ew, that's so boring. You need to like add more color to that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Damn. Like, she's definitely me times 10, which is crazy, I know. But I think home decoration was a lot more tame. Like, I don't think she put that much thought into it, except maybe, like, adding a Mexican wall and a marquesina, or, like, pintamos los cuartos de un color en específico. Like, I think every 2 or 3 years they change the color. And mi cuarto, even though I only, lamentablemente, go like for 4 weeks in 1 year. Like, and they was constantly changing and updating stuff. But we've had the same couches since I was like 12.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sí.
Like the same tapestry, like it's, I absolutely hate them, but they love them. And it's like this weird, like, tapestry con línea, but they're not just like líneas concretas. It's just like, there's like gold in there, and there's like green and red and fuchsia, and I'm just like, that's really loud, and I really hate it, but sure. But I think it's just the whole, like, being more daring that my mom taught me, not so much it's like constantly trying to change, but just being like, this is bold, I know it, and that's why I love it.
Gotcha.
That's where I got that from. Yeah.
Gotcha. Your mom reminds me a bit of my mom. Lo único que mami
I feel like, yeah.
Lo único que mami es que she doesn't stop putting decorations around the house, and you can barely walk anymore.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I mean, like, because she's shorter than me, which is a lot to say because I'm already 5'4", and she's like 5 feet. She doesn't care if she puts stuff that hangs too low. She's like, oh, I can walk. I don't care about you. Like, it's fine. And, like, just the ceiling now is, like, cluttered with weird decorations. I'm like, I don't understand this, but sure. And, like, el patio es otra cosa. Like, el patio es como un mini yunque. Like, there's so many plants in there, you can barely walk, and it's ridiculous. But if it's what makes her happy, it's what makes her happy. And she also has una colección de wind chimes, which is annoying, but also it's like adorable because there's wind chimes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's like 15 wind chimes al frente de la casa. Yeah. Where's that family, okay?
Don't worry, en verdad que mami tiene sus propias cosas.
Yeah, I think all of them have like one thing that you're just like, bro, that's too much.
Yeah. Like, me sorprende cuando dice, ay, mira, vamos a poner cemento aquí para que no haya tanta grama. Are you sure?
Wow.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You sure you want to do that?
But then...
She's like, yeah, let's just do it. It's fine.
Exacto. But then cuando pasa, pone mata en tiesto all over the spot. So, como que...
Oh, that's cute though.
No, ya obligado. Pero pues,
yeah.
You can barely walk anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That being said, those are all my questions. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think you've talked me out. Yeah, I think I'm already talked out enough. I feel like, honestamente, I've loved writing so much. I don't really do anything else. Like, it's kind of sounds boring and it sounds kind of stuckish, but, like, I like writing so much that I just don't do anything else. Like, I wake up, I go to work, I write because I love to. I come back. Yes, I'll go out with friends, but not in these coronavirus times because I ain't trying to catch that. Like, yeah, I'll go out. I'll go and, like, grab dinner and grab drinks and, like, spend time with my friends and come back home and, like, watch maybe some TV, and then I just either keep writing for freelance work or I just go to sleep and then wake up and do the thing again the next day, and I'm pretty happy with it. Like, that's why when you asked me about hobbies, I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't have any other hobbies because I like what I do so much that I don't feel the need to have another hobby, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're happy.
Yeah, my hobbies are like, sounds really bougie, but like getting my nails done, that's my hobby because it makes me happy. And that's also just like another way I feel to like really express yourself. Like, I feel like you know who's Latina because of their nails.
It plays a big part. Ahora que pienso, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the way we're a lot more daring. We're a lot more like intricate. Like, it's expensive to do so, but we just love to because it's different and it's what makes us us.
Exacto. It's part of the identity.
Exactly. You're not Latina if you don't got your nails done.
¿Cómo?
That's a lie. You're not Latina if you don't got your nails done. That's a lot. It's like, you know, you can do whatever you want. But most of them do.
Yeah. De hecho, se me vino una pregunta ahora.
Yeah.
Not recently, pero creo que fue como hace un año o dos, right? You got your first tattoo?
Yes, I did, yes.
Are there any plans for any other tattoos?
I want to. I don't feel this itch that people always talk about. They're like, once you get your first tattoo, you're going to want to have another tattoo in like 3 months. Like, I don't feel that. But I think it was mainly because I've always known my parents hated tattoos so much that I was just like, I am getting this tattoo, but it means that my parents may never talk to me again, or it means that my parents are just going to lose all respect for me, because, like, my parents are old-fashioned, so it's like, and my mom, pues, she's the kind of person that thinks, like, es cuerpo el tiempo de Dios, and she's like, you shouldn't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say that they absolutely hate them, because my mom will still be the person that will see a very cool tattoo and stop that person and be like, what does your tattoo mean? And I'm like, Mom, stop, that's rude. Let them live. But also, she just really likes them on other people. Like, sometimes I'll be like, Mom, let's go get matching tattoos. And she's like, no.
Mm.
Yeah. And, like, when I first got it, this is a matching tattoo. I got it with Laura. And obviously Laura has, I don't know, 5 or 6 tattoos?
Yeah.
So I just have one. And, like, the whole time I was just like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but I really want it, but this is bad. Like, my parents are going to kill me. And I think I've just had that ingrained so much that I'm just like, you know what? Just pushes away all want of any other tattoo, because I don't want to, like, hurt my parents again.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. It makes it seem like a negative experience. It was not, because I absolutely love it. It's something that I've wanted since I was like 15, and it's just what I wanted. It's just this area that I wanted. And I would definitely love to get another one. Just maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 10 years when my parents are like, oh, she's actually a grown woman. I can't do anything about it.
It sucked.
Yeah. So, but again, like, I think my brother has done that enough. Con ellos, que they're like, please stop. Like, please don't do anything else. Like, my brother has, like, 2 sleeves. He has tattoos all over his chest. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, he's that person as to, and then I'm, like, a cute, dainty one, but then I got a tattoo. My parents are like, seriously, you too? So that's why I'm like, oh, but I really want to. And sounds really cheesy, and I think you know this. I have a bunny.
Yeah.
And she is the love of my life. I've had her she's still alive. I've had her for 9 years.
Whoa.
I know. And I actually saw, like, this really sweet idea of a tattoo, and it was, like, a girl holding a bunny. And it didn't look stupid. It didn't look cheesy. It looked actually really, really sweet. And I'm like, I want that, or something like that, because, like, she just means a lot to me. I feel like, yeah, a lot of people get tattoos just like their dogs, but I can't pick just one dog to tattoo on my body, because so far I've already had 4.
Mm.
And they're all different. So they're, like, in my head, like, I had a weenie dog. I've had a chow chow. I've had a Dalmatian. I now have un labrador, and then I have a bunny, which is, like, a very unique kind of pet to have. Like, yes, people have them, but it's not something that common. And she was there with me throughout college. Like, I bought her at college. She was there with me, so she would definitely be, like, my next one. Yeah. And sometimes I thought about, like, my parents, but I feel like it'd be disrespectful, because they're like, they hate tattoos so much, and then they're like, we hate tattoos, and you're getting us tattooed on you. Like, it's going to be very ironic and contradictory, and it's just really weird.
But who knows? Maybe they might.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I just have to find a way to make it unique, because I don't want to be like everyone else that has, like, la fecha or, like, la firma or something like that. I want something very unique.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to think about what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, que tenga un significado y que sea diferente.
Exacto. And also, like, you saw the one that I have. It's, like, very delicado, like, single line.
Mm-hmm.
Something, like, very similar to that, like, aesthetic.
Yeah.
Delicate, like me, and also tiny, because that was painful. Like, no one told me it was that painful. No one told me it was that painful. Like, I think even because I was expecting the pain and I was expecting the backlash from my parents, like, when I got to the tattoo parlor, this was cuando Laura came to visit me to New York City, and she was like, so we've always wanted to get matching tattoos. Why not just do it when I come visit you? And I was like, oh, God, okay, sure. Dragged me to a tattoo shop at, like, 11 p.m. The same day she lands, so we're both exhausted already. Dragged me to a tattoo shop. I was the first one, because obviously I was the one that was, like, the most scared. And they were like, if you see her getting the tattoo first and you see her in pain, you're definitely not going to want to do it, and you're going to run away. So we're going to do you first. And I was like, okay. I literally had a panic attack for 5 minutes before doing it. And the guy, props to him, he was great. He was like, do you really want this? And I'm like, yes. He was like, do you trust me? I am not going to hurt you. If it starts to hurt, you tell me and we will stop. But you also need to be very calm. And because of the area, he was like, you can't be breathing too hard. You can't be moving. You just need to chill and trust me. And I'm like, that's like a lot to ask from a complete stranger. But also, okay. Like, I think that was like the whole thing behind tattoos for me. Like, it was like not being absolutely in control of it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just trusting someone else. And then I think also, like, I've always been a sickly child. Like, when I was little, I've always suffered of so many allergies. When I was in college, like, I got a bunch of piercings and they all just got infected or they would not heal. So I was just like, I've always had these issues. What goes to say that if I get a tattoo, something's not going to happen? Like, what if my body has a reaction? What if, like, my body rejects it? What if it gets infected? And it was, like, all these thoughts and just going really against what I've always been taught, to just always be careful. Like, you have to be really worried, like, because I was so sickly when I was little, that it was just going against all of those things and, like, possibly exposing myself to something that could have backfired, but didn't, but it's fine. And I was like, oh, I can actually do this again. And I actually had to go back maybe like a month later to get it retouched, porque cuando when it was like scabbing, some of the things that came off. So I had to go back and get it retouched by myself. And I was like, oh, I can do this again because like I've already done it and I'm fine.
Exacto. You took on the challenge, you learned, you defeated.
Yeah. And like, I feel like if I get another one, it'd just be like something as small and like it's like hidden, and it's like because I know it's for me, but I would still maybe want something that's a little bit more exposed.
Gotcha.
I just don't know where. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe you'll see me in 2 years with another one.
Yeah.
You never know.
Exact.
Yeah.
So, those are all the questions. So now, where can people contact you for whatever?
Oh, boy. I mean, I feel like the easiest way to contact me, I know that sounds very millennial, but it's like Instagram. It's Sophie, so SOPHE _Caraballo. That's my Instagram. The same goes for Twitter, the same username. And I say Instagram because you can also like find my email there, so you can just email me. There's my website. You can check out my website. It's not one of those blogger websites. It's just like my clips, just like my actual work. And then yeah, I'm probably gonna post cute puppies, New York sceneries, friends, outfits, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But Beba, once
Aww.
again, thanks for saying yes.
Of course, always say yes to friends. See? Do you see what I just did there?
There you
I
go.
just did a thing. There you go.
De hecho, for those who don't know, Sophie was the one with the name for #NoOffend. So
See, that was me.
that's a little piece of trivia right there.
But that started because you were teasing me.
Exacto.
So,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, sorry for the very loud police
Don't worry.
alarm. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's New York's soundtrack.
Exacto.
And then also, I was looking for me Google Photos because I like back up all my photos in Google. And I don't know if I ever showed you this video, but I took a video of you on Mujer Reading Center.
Mm.
And you were just like jamming out in the corner table. It was your table. It was the one que estaba entre las dos puertas de los dos centros. And you were jamming out by yourself with like your headphones and your sunglasses. And I remember you even like took off your glasses. You looked around you to make sure, I don't know if to make sure people weren't looking at you while you were like headbanging. While I was like right next to you, just filming you the whole time. You never saw me. It was great. I still watch that video and it still cracks me up. I listened to you at one point.
Por favor, please.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, that was one of the great memories from my centro.
A Fen in the Wild situation.
A Fen in the Wild. Literally, it is. What's the thing? Oh my God. It's what's like in filming. It's a B-roll. It's a B-roll. That's it. It's B-roll, okay?
Exacto.
It's B-roll of Fen in the Wild.
Ay. Pues, mándame eso.
Will do.
Thank you once again.
Of course. Cualquier cosa, you just let me know. I am here for you, as you can see.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about New York? About making it, quotation marks, in New York? Everyone's trying to make it here, babe, but it's fine.
Confía que I will direct them towards you.
Yes, please do. There's a couple other people here that you may know. But,
of course.
At least I'm going to be here for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you as a friend, inspiration.
No.
And what else?
As a person?
As a person, yeah. Nada.
Dale.
Fencas con Sophia Melissa Caraballo de Carolina, who now lives in New York.
That's a mouthful, but yes.
Gracias once again.
So much,
Te cuidas, Beba. Te lo mando cuando termine,
Dale, thank you. Yes. Dale, thank you. Bye.
Bye.